Hello and welcome to Select 10. We're here with a brand new video about the top new web series of 2023 that were released on Disney+, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and various other well-known streaming platforms in the past 2 months. This list will include both new web series from 2023 and some returning shows with new seasons that you might enjoy. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Free Ridge. It is a spin-off of the popular teen drama On My Block on Netflix. Here's a quick rundown of On My Block series to give you an idea of what the Free Ridge show is all about. On My Block takes place in the Los Angeles area of Free Ridge, where 4 teenagers find their long-standing friendships tested when they start high school and get unanticipatedly involved in a local legend and myth, where they decide to uncover a town's secretly buried money while sticking together and escaping street crime. The series was one of the top-rated and highly entertaining teen shows on Netflix and continued for 4 seasons. Returning to the new show, Free Ridge also follows the 4 friends, Gloria, Ines, Demi, and Cam, as they manage the typical struggles of school life as they build friendships, attend classes, until they are drawn into the investigation of a strange conspiracy involving boxes that are said to contain a curse. The show is engaging thanks to the suspense surrounding the curse and its mysterious creator. The first half of the season is fantastic, but the second half went a little downhill, but it is still entertaining to watch, as it is unlike a typical teen drama, so give it a try, you might like it. Number 9. The Legend of Vox Machina. It is an animated fantasy action-adventure series based on the first campaign of the Dungeons & Dragons web series Critical Role. One of the best animated shows of the last year is back with a new season. The second season is also as wild, crazy, and filled with lots of action as the first. Season 2 begins right after the conclusion of Season 1, with the dragon clan known as the Chroma Conclave conquering and seizing control of its city. The second season centers on what happened following these events, where the dragons are now in power, and Vox Machina must now embark on the search for celestial items that can help them combat the beasts in order to prevent the destruction of the entire kingdom. You just have to be a fan of fantasy shows to watch and enjoy this series, and don't worry if you don't know anything about Critical Role or Dungeons & Dragons. The second season of the show is stronger, darker, and more emotional than the first, and the breathtaking animation takes the new fantasy adventure to a whole new level. It is almost a perfect sequel to Season 1. Number 8. Wolf Pack. It is a supernatural drama series created by Jeff Davis. The plot revolves around Blake and Everett, 2 teenagers whose ordinary lives were turned upside down when they were injured by an unidentified mystical monster while trapped in a wildfire. You may well have guessed it from the title, so it is not a spoiler. Soon the teens discover they have transformed into werewolves and, surprisingly, form a special connection with one another as they set out to try and locate 2 other youngsters who experienced a similarly unusual wildfire 16 years earlier, all while discovering the reason surrounding their transformations. Werewolf and vampire-themed TV shows always have a loyal audience, and they will simply enjoy this series anyway. Overall, the storyline is weak, but the first 3 episodes offer a good combination of romance and horror that fans of the supernatural genre will enjoy. And the remaining new episodes are released every week on Paramount+. Number 7. CSI: Vegas. It is a crime drama series and the 5th installment in the CSI franchise. It is a continuation of the CSI crime scene investigation series. The show centers on a creative young squad of officers who work together and employ new scientific approaches to defend and investigate crimes in the city while unraveling the secrets of some of the town's most heinous crimes. As they solve cases, they are challenged with a grave danger that might send a large number of murderers back onto the streets. During the second season, the crew faces a new enemy whose crimes have consumed the neighborhoods of the city. There are reportedly 21 episodes in the second season, of which 13 have been released so far, with the remaining episodes airing each week. Even if you haven't watched any of the other CSI shows, you can start with this one. Although it is not a flawless crime investigation drama and may not be for everyone, it has a few interesting and solid cases, so give it a shot if you're in the mood. Number 6. Love to Hate You. It is a romantic comedy drama directed by Kim Young-kwon. The plot centers on Yeo Mir-an, a young lawyer at a firm that mostly represents clients in the movie business. The problem is that she actually hates losing to men and is not looking to date. On the other hand, despite being a famous actor in the movie business, Nam Kang-ho does not fully trust women. The strange romance begins when these two distinct individuals meet, and the thin layer of love and hate begins to triumph over their mutual distrust. The on-screen chemistry of the two performers keeps the series entertaining, while the story is silly, formulaic, and nothing new, but the element of quirkiness and humor keeps you interested. Number 5. Miss Scarlet and the Duke. It is a period crime drama created by Rachel New. The series centers on Eliza Scarlet, who, following the death of her father, finds it harder to live as an unmarried woman and is forced to deal with hardship and have no source of income. However, when she accepts the task of leading her late father's investigation business, her life changes for the better. She also finds an unusual companion in the quirky Detective Inspector William Wellington, also known as the Duke. The plot develops as the two start working together to solve the puzzles and crimes of 19th-century London. The second and third seasons continue with more gripping new mysteries, while Scarlet faces competition from a new organization. The show is a bit scary in parts, while the cinematography, sets, and costumes are major highlights. The story is filled with multidimensional characters, compelling, mind-bending mysteries that keep you guessing. In comparison to the second season, which was a little slow, the new third season is more engaging, creative, and suspenseful overall. Number 4. Shrinking. It is a comedy drama series created by Brett Goldstein, Bill Lawrence, and Jason Segel. The show centers on Jimmy Laird, a therapist who struggles to be a dad and friend while coping with intense grief caused by the death of his wife. For a change, during the therapy sessions, he decides to adopt a new strategy with everyone who crosses his path by being completely truthful, where he begins to cross moral boundaries by revealing to his clients what he truly feels, resulting in dramatic changes in both his and their lifestyles. The show has an interesting mix of wit and emotions, along with many happy and heartbreaking sequences. One of the show's big highlights is Harrison Ford's performance, which brings life to important scenes. The entire narrative centered on Jimmy, his family, and his friends as they struggled with their own imperfections and anxieties while attempting to deal with the fate destiny had delivered them. The only drawback for me is that some of the satire feels slightly outdated, but overall it's a fresh feel-good show that centers on grief and a daily struggle while keeping the narrative entertaining with laughter and drama. Number 3. Extraordinary. It is a superhero comedy series created by Emma Moran. The center of the story is Jen, a young lady who lives in a universe in which everybody possesses a superpower, but for reasons unknown, she does not. The series is set in a universe where the majority of people uncover their abilities around the time they are 18 years old. Jen, on the other hand, has been waiting for 6 years to find out what her superpower is. With nothing except a little bit of hope and a lot of determination, Jen finds herself alone in a vast puzzling universe as she sets out to discover her superpower. This is different from any superhero show we've seen, which is fantastic. Not every superhero series has to follow the same formula, and what sets this one apart from others is its main concept of everyone getting a superpower when they turn 18. Along with the main plot, there are plenty of side stories involving friendship and love that steadily blend in to create a wild and crazy genre-bending story with a touch of humor and superhero mythology, and it is so masterfully done that you wish there were more episodes. Number 2. Will Trent. It is a police procedural crime drama series based on Karen Slaughter's Will Trent series of novels. The plot follows Will Trent, who was raised in Atlanta's crowded child welfare system after being abandoned at birth. Despite experiencing the darkest times in his early stages of life, he has matured enough to work as a special agent for the GBI, also called Georgia Bureau of Investigation. He approaches cases from a different viewpoint, somewhat like Sherlock Holmes, but not exactly, and as a result of his attention to detail, he has emerged as the GBI agent with the highest case-closing record. In the meantime, there is a second police agency, the APD, just like the GBI, thus creating conflict between the officers on both sides. The interesting thing is, their assignments occasionally collide, with Will mostly at the center of the situation. From the first episode, the show presented unusual crime cases and situations, while also providing an interesting introduction to the characters. The show looks fantastic after 5 episodes, and it makes us excited for the remaining season. Number 1. You. Season 4 of this psychological crime thriller takes place shortly after the events of Season 3, where Joe travels to Paris in search of Marianne, who left after she discovered the terrible truth about Joe. In order to blend in and avoid being recognized, Joe became a lecturer and began teaching university students about poetry. While attempting to start over and leave his past and bad routines behind him, Joe unwittingly finds himself drawn into the elite social group of London's super rich. But his newfound peace of mind is disturbed when his new wealthy friends begin to die at the hands of a shadowy killer who is also stalking Joe. In previous seasons, Joe was the one who stalked, but in the new season, it's the other way around, which adds to the story's suspense and drama. And for viewers who are new to the series, here is a quick review of Season 1, so you can begin watching. The story centers on Joe, a charming but dangerous man who will do anything to enter the lives of the women he loves and start making them his obsession, even if it means killing someone in the process. Overall, Season 4 Part 1 is different from past seasons and feels fresh mainly due to its new murder mystery factor, which fits in wonderfully with the classic You vibe. That's it for today, thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.